After realizing that conventional treatments weren't enough, Matthew's father, Dr. Ashton Embry, began researching alternative ways to manage MS, leading to a controversial but potentially effective lifestyle-based approach. Now, we're going to talk about that lifestyle-based approach, but before that, I want to talk about the treatment CCSVI,
Right.
which involves opening up the narrowed veins.
Yes.
So can you explain what it is and how it connects to MS?
Yeah. So CCSVI in the MS space has become somewhat controversial.
Okay.
Now, I think it's controversial that it is controversial.
Okay.
Right. That's my position. So once we had implemented the nutritional strategies that my father had come up with high dose vitamin D and exercise, there was another discovery that came out, and I think it was around 2009.
Okay.
Which showed an association between people with MS, I believe, and narrowing of the veins, the jugular veins in particular.
Interesting.
Where there was a blockage, and this was causing not enough blood flow through the body.
Now, did you end up having that?
I did.
And how did you feel?
And so, good question. So, I mean, I was tested, and I indeed had major blockage on my left side.
Really?
And this was almost 100% blocked, and this was 25% blocked.
Wow.
And ended up having those opened up in Poland. And for me, because I was doing so well anyhow, I didn't have the dramatic results that you can see in our documentary or another thing where people were regaining motor functions and things like this. I had more cognitive issues, ability to sleep better, things like that. But again, this has been somewhat of a controversial treatment because for people who've had it, the effects haven't lasted. Keeping the veins open has been problematic. There's been other studies that have said that, people that this association doesn't exist.
Okay.
And so our position is don't throw the baby out with the bathwater.
So what about Canada? Like, Canada, is this not standard or should it be?
No, it's not standard whatsoever.
Okay.
In fact, the only place I know you can get tested and treated right now is in the United States of America.
Okay, and why do you think it's not? Because it's
yeah, I mean, I
works
can't
for some and not.
Yeah, I can't speculate why we really stepped away from this. I think that there's not a lot of money to be made.
Right. Yeah. Right.
It's an inexpensive thing to do, and we need more research, and research is continually being done.
Okay.
It's just maybe not be getting the press it used to.
Now let's talk about what you've heard. It'll take another generation to find a cure for disease.
Yeah.
I mean, what is it like hearing that?
Yeah. I mean, I think one of the big adages or one of the things you hear is, we're going to have a cure in 5 to 10 years. I was told that in 1995, and people are still told that. You hear this, it's going to take another generation. For me, I'm almost 50 years old.
Yeah.
And I've got maybe 25 years left. I have a generation to help, and I'm really working to do my absolute best to end this disease.
Well, and like with your dad's approach, this diet-based approach, was choosing this a rejection of medical therapies, or was it just simply a way of taking back part of control of your life, or you didn't feel that there were other options?
Well, I mean, the nutritional strategies my dad came up with are science-based. So he looked at the science, and the nutrition came out of it. It wasn't the other way around.
Okay.
It wasn't that he started with the diet and then proved his point. It was the other way around. So for me, it was a scientific approach towards my health. I looked at the science with my dad. I'm not as educated as him, and nor am I as intelligent in that way. But I was able to discern enough. And we provide a lot of that science on mshope.com.
Okay.
And so then for me, I mean, I'm not anti-pharmaceutical.
Right.
If there was a drug that I could take that guaranteed to stop progression and I would not have any disability and there weren't all these side effects, I would take it. And so, and that's one of my frustrations where I get put in that anti-pharma box, and I'm just not.
Right.
For me, I want a drug that's going to work without the side effects.
Now, your dad shared this with MS Society. Why do you think they responded the way they did?
Well, I mean, he did try to give this to the Multiple Sclerosis Society, I believe, in the late 90s.
Okay.
And they were not interested at the time. And I can't speculate as to why, but from our perspective, it's a challenging thing to do, and there's also no money in it.
Right.
And that's
sad to say.
Yeah, there's no money, and it's hard to research.
Hard to fundraise on that.
It's hard to research these types of things, and so again, that's why we took it upon ourselves to start advocating for this.
Now we have less than 30 seconds, but you were asked to cease and desist, and you adjusted your website to that. Was that satisfactory then for them? And
yeah. So that was all taken care of.
Okay. Well, what impact did you feel this letter had on you just within the last 15 seconds here?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, I want to step into a positive space right now. And my goal is to just keep sharing our story as much as we possibly can.
Keep sharing it. And with that, we'll have more to share after this.